All right, I'm on. Hi. So I was gonna stop, but don't feel like stopping. My intros are never very flawless or seamless or smooth. So, um, yeah. So let's talk, right? Um, so what's been going on? Ah, what has been going on? I don't know. It feels like a lot, and but it's more like in here, like I think the mental part is what has been like going really well. Or maybe, like physically, um, I have been growing, and that's been, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, oh, uh, okay. um, that's been feeling good. You know, I've noticed that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and the only thing I can articulate that it is about is being the best. And I don't even know what that's in reference to. It's not about beating anybody, um, or being like somebody. Like I have my idea about like the ideal artist, I have that person in mind. It's very specific, um, but for reference's sake, uh, I'll go back in time to how like the masters of those times were. Like we all know, I'm a huge fan of the Renaissance. I'm a huge fan of just a really high quality of art, high quality sculpture, high quality textiles, embroidery, um, really nice materials and canvases. Um, Realism tends to be a part of that, at least, and I wouldn't even say like a grasp of realism, like, because I'm not like there. There are weaknesses in my realism, but then it seems to hinder me when I use my imagination. Like, sometimes I'll see using like a reference. Well, let me not get off track. But my ideal has been that of like the Renaissance, basically the painters in like the 18th century, that kind of, maybe before, like basically like 15th century maybe. I don't even know. It's really hard to like categorize. Um, but basically, Da Vinci and Rembrandt, but more Da Vinci and Michelangelo, because the deal with that is that there's sculpture involved. I've always wanted to master sculpture in the round, like realism in the round. And painting is like that. Um, but what's included in that is realism, like an understanding of like what the material or the idea looks like, But what I'm seeing is that that's not really important to me anymore, you know. It reminds me of when I think Picasso went to all those places that he went to but he demonstrated like being able to express himself realistically in the beginning of his, I don't want to say career either, because I don't want to associate my art with my career, because that kind of technicality has been starting to irk me, because the way I irk myself. Artistic careers aren't irking to me. It's what I do in my mind, how I categorize it, and what it turns out, what it tends to do to me. And I tend to think like I need specific jobs. I need my work to have a certain look, and it kind of tiptoes on that corporate edge of like how a lot of employers like to see your portfolio. A lot of clients want to see you demonstrate what they're looking for in their project. And that's all cool, you know. I used to be irked by that, but now that I'm getting more comfortable with, I think just with the experience of having worked with multiple clients at this point versus not very many, I think over time I've just gotten used to that, and I've adapted. Like, I've been able to figure out how to maintain my identity while demonstrating I'm the right person for the job. And so that's cool. And so, but with the career thing, I think I'm just getting used to, I think artistically, I'm mentally separating myself from things that are associated with like the outside world versus like my inside world. My inside world, I'm constantly thinking about like what's gonna come like next. I think about how things are going to apply to tattooing, and I think about the days that will come that will, sorry, I just do this sometimes. So, and I can play with my hair at home, like in public it's weird. But yeah, so like the days that I can get into a studio where I can sculpt, maybe I'll sculpt here at home. I don't know. I just know that there's gonna be a point in my career where I'm painting more regularly and I'm sculpting and I'm doing those things and tattooing. Right now, the fun part is that I'm doing digital stuff, which is definitely part of the agenda. Like, sculpture may come later in, granite or marble, stone, polyurethane in some way. Is it polyurethane? I forget, but there's a poly something that is used with sculpture. But I think that's for casting, because I don't think it ever hardens or cures. But anyway, so nowadays I can sculpt three-dimensionally. And that's cool because I ain't no baller, but I have been super blessed with the opportunity to score another computer, scored off of eBay, that is. Not on like the streets, but and I'm not balling out of control over here. It was like $80. That's including shipping, but I'm able to use 3D software. I needed it to be able to continue in school. So this is like a school thing, but it's cool because I can sculpt this way. Like maybe, like it's not the same as like using my hands, but I do like the digital aspect. I like computers and I like software, and I've been enjoying the work that I've been seeing now that my projects primarily have been digital. And I mean seeing by like art by other people, because there is a degree of collecting art for my project. Sometimes I'm I have to find things and source them, and other times I can take the time to just create them myself. It's I'm in the process of, well, I've been in the process of building a library, a digital library for specific projects. So, with that has come different clients for the person I'm working with or the company that I'm working with. The other clients have had specific needs that needed to be done quicker. So some of the things needed to be sourced just because of the way that the content was present, like the nature of the content. And then other things I could just do myself, and with the specific things, it was more like places, like specific cities and specific countries, things like that, But I've been enjoying that art that I've seen, and then I've enjoyed the way that my art has been growing, and I've been enjoying the way that I've been learning from these things. Like tutorials and reaching these like dead ends that really frustrate me, but then I research how to like get past them. And that's what kind of happens when you spend a lot of time with software. Like, you really have to just spend so much time with software. And thank goodness, thank God that, I spent a lot of years, just partnering up with software, even though I wasn't that good in my eyes for a while, but I never stopped trying to learn. And so that kind of part of the comfort, contributed to where I am now. I'm nowhere near being like super awesome, but I could hold my own, and I can get the job done, and I can get hired for jobs. Like, I'm at that stage, but I'm nowhere near like mentally like the grasp that I know that there is the potential for. And that kind of circles all the way back to the beginning. Like, I know where I want to be as an artist, I know where I can be. I know where I have this projection, and I think what it is that adding sculptures to my portfolio, to my body of work versus career. You see what I'm saying? Like, career is like objectives and jobs and clients and portfolios for clients. Body of work is what I'm kind of like striving for. Like, right now my career is cool and my portfolio in that regard is cool, but I don't have any sculptures, man. Like, it's like a blank spot. There's in that part of my portfolio, that blank that's supposed to be filled in with the word sculptures, there are crickets in that blank chirping. I have like some ceramics from like 99 that I did, and they were okay, but I really haven't been doing much sculpture since then at all. Let's put that number at like 0. And as far as paintings, it's been so sporadic, like, and I did learn that word from Clueless, I will say, but but hey, we won't go too that far down that road. But like, painting to me is like day in, day out kind of thing, and it's honestly, it's the same with tattooing. Like, I would love to be able, I love where I am right now. There is no question about that, like, at all. Loving it, but as far as like tattooing, I would really love to be able to get the feeling of like tattooing every day, multiple hours a day, not to a point of burnout where I need to take a break and I wouldn't have a choice, because like I consider myself a tattooing noob, and like my burnout happens after about 3 hours or like multiple days, but I've never really done 3-hour sessions for days on end, you know? Like, the only thing I get burnt out on now is like if I do that digitally. Like, if I do 4 or 5 hours of digital work in a day and I'm doing it for like 4 days, then I experience like mental art burnout, you know? Sketching and stuff, kind of. But I feel like that's just a lot sooner. Like right now, I'm still finishing out this one contract that I have, and dude, it's taken so long. Like, it's amazing how long it's taken me, and I get burned out so quickly because the work is so like fine art based, and doing it for someone else, you know, it's like I want the client to be happy. She's been real cool. So, you know, thank God for that, because otherwise, you know, I could have been like having even more stress. But the work has been turning out really good. It's just I get really burned out within an hour of working on one of the sketches. And there's only like, what, 7 or 8? But there are a lot of characters involved, specific storylines, backgrounds. It's like everything is all combined, and it's not really like my style, but it's a style that I've always wanted, like being able to tell a story, have lots of elements going on, different characters, different things to talk about, you know. So it's been extremely beneficial. I think she'll be totally happy with all of the illustrations because they look super fresh, super fly, awesome, if I do say so myself. Like, not saying that I'm so hype or that awesome. It's just, it was a big challenge for me going in, you know, like just getting the feeling right. And I'm just happy with it. And I picture myself like, if I'm reading this book and I see these illustrations as a reader, am I gonna think that's like a cool addition to the story? And my answer is like, yes, because like I'm even reading a book and it's been a year since I've started that thing, probably like almost a year at least. And it's like so random that I read, like it's embarrassing. I know, but bear with me. You know, I have been a reader in the past. I just don't know what's up right now. Like I'm just getting my fill of I'm getting my YouTube on for sure. So, but I think about like if I was a reader of this story, like would these illustrations like add to it and make me like satisfied as a viewer and reader? And the answer is yes. I think they contribute really well to like what the story is about. I compare them even with the story that I'm reading now, and it's shit. That thing is by who R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones dude. So it's like, you know, not saying that I worship this guy or something like that, but Buddy does have the means to like hire a cool artist. You know what I'm saying? And the artist did a good job. I don't know who the artist is. I haven't done any research, but the illustrations are really nice. And I look forward to seeing them as I read. They're not on every page. They're like spread kind of throughout. What I'm doing now is for like every other chapter. There's like 13 or 14 chapters, and I have like 7 illustrations. So I'm happy, but that junk burns me out, yo. So I have to chill on that. And that usually happens after I've been doing like 3 to 5 hours of digital work, you know. So if I was reversing it, it may be different. Like if I was starting out early in the day and only drawing. And I think that everything right now contributes to everything else, like the digital work, my side projects, my own personal stuff, the illustration for, you know, a client, maybe even the introduction of like more work. Hopefully, I haven't really started. I've just been kind of like looking out for like cool projects to potentially, you know, present myself for, to apply for on this third-party site that I work from or with. And you know, but I think like how would it be if I was just doing one thing like all day every day and like not really doing too much else? Like if I was just tattooing, I probably would sketch, but like nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like how would that, I think that would be awesome, you know? But I'm happy where I am. So, you know, I just be cool with that, you know, and it's not like wishful thinking, oh, I wish I could just be in the studio, or I just wish this and that. But artistically, I still feel like young grasshopper with everything, and I really feel like I haven't shown what I like want to show. You know, it's like I see what I want to see, you know, and it looks fantastic all the time. And then I look at my stuff and I'm just kind of like, this looks like a high school presentation. And that's not what I'm going for. But I have to be cool. And it is cool because it's not all shabby work. So, and I am learning stuff. So I just have to be cool with that. But the pressure, you know, I gotta be cool with that too, and like realize these things. Because I really will have like pseudo, now I'll just keep it real, legit breakdowns where I'm so frustrated that a couple tears pop out of my eyes. And I'm like, why am I not a good artist? You know, and then I'm cool again. You know, like I know I'm not terrible, and I know my work doesn't look completely bad. Oh, my dryer just stopped, so the audio probably sounds a degree better. But yeah, like I know it's not shabby. It's just when you see awesome for so long, it's just like inferiority complex that I am getting. So on that note, I will get back to work soon. Yeah, stretch my neck like a lot because my computer is like here, my TV is here, but I haven't been able to like change my setup to something that's like comfortable. Like I would have to come from this angle, and that's just not cool. So anyway, we'll work it out, and I will see you next time. Bye.